Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Thriving Therapreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Carly Hill, and I am incredibly stoked to be here on this journey with you. If you're a therapist, you're an ambitious entrepreneur, welcome. You are in the right spot. We're going to be delivering actionable strategies every single week, inspiring stories, expert insights to help you thrive as both a therapist and a coach. This podcast has been a long time coming for me. As I sit here at my desk, my vision board is always to my left. And as I glance over, I see podcast. It's been on here for maybe 2 years now. And sometimes I'll just Google things and I'll print them off and I'll literally tape them to my vision board or I'll write on it. And I've been looking at starting a podcast for quite some time. And there's a few reasons why I haven't done it up until this point. One being, I was in the thick of running my own coaching business, wearing all of the hats prior to me having a team. Client fulfillment is always my number one goal. My clients are my world. And so that priority has always come first. I think that there's also an order of operations when it comes to starting a business, growing a business, and scaling a business. I always view business as these three parts. You're foundational, you're growing, or you're scaling. And now that I've been in the scaling phase, I would say now is the perfect time for me to start this podcast. Maybe not in the growth and the foundation, because like I said, I was wearing all of those hats, but I've had the capacity because I have a large team now to start the podcast. But what's gotten in my way most recently is the perfectionistic type A me. And maybe you can relate to this, right? Where you're overthinking everything. And it's so funny because I teach and preach to all of my clients and I help them walk through this as well. But it's a little bit different when you're integrating yourself and you're struggling with this. I probably could have used some extra push to launch this maybe a bit sooner, but there's divine timing in everything, I believe. But there's so much more to me than just therapist to coach accelerator. And that's what was holding me back because I wanted to talk about manifestation, spirituality, energy healing, all of these woo parts of me, in addition to my own life, my own story, not only helping therapists outgrow the office, unapologetically make more money, add coaching ethically and legally, although that is my number one area of expertise. And that's what's held me back. And I had this aha moment. It dawned upon me where I was like, Carly, it doesn't have to be either or. It doesn't have to be black or white. It can be both and. You can talk about helping therapists make more money, outgrowing the office, adding coaching, and you can talk about all of those other things. I can allow all parts of me to come through and it's safe to do so. And here I am. Because once I had that moment, nothing could stop me. I was ready to launch to the freaking moon. And I thought, what better way to have you get to know me than have my colleagues, my closest friends, some of my team members describe me and my personality. So I reached out to them and I said, I need you to do me a favor and I need you to send me a voice memo and describe me in maybe a few sentences or a few words. Now, they did not know that they were going to be on the very first episode of the Thriving Therapreneur Podcast, but I figured that this might help you gain some insight into me, my personality, my story, what you can expect to hear throughout this journey that we will take together on the Thriving Therapreneur Podcast. Now's not the time for me to give you my whole backstory about how I started as a therapist, moved to a coach, moved to a business coach, went from a broke, burnt out therapist to a 7-figure entrepreneur. I will give you that full story in another episode. But right now, I just want you to gain some insight into who I am, your host, Carly Hill, as a person. So take a listen.
Carly is an idea generator, a creator, a badass woman, a leader, a coach, a friend. She wears so many hats. It's hard to describe Carly in just a few words. But I think the biggest is Carly has this go-getter, bright energy that I don't think is replicated in anybody else in my life.
How would I describe Carly? Wow. It's actually taken me a lot of time to think about this. It's really challenging to write a review or an opinion or feedback on someone who has so many incredible traits as a person or as a professional, and to do that succinctly. So here goes. I've had multiple careers and I've worked with individuals across all walks of life. However, there are very few that have gained the respect and admiration that I hold for Carly. Yes, you can tell she's brilliant and she's talented, she's successful. Those are qualities that anyone can see from her accomplishments. The characteristics that I appreciate the most, though, are her kindness, her genuine willingness to help others and to do whatever it takes for them to succeed. And it's not just because of the money. It's because she truly cares. I have seen her and experienced her going above and beyond for her clients, for her friends, even for other professionals. She is one of the few people I've encountered who consistently and truly works from a place of integrity and goodwill. Her desire to build a community of people helping each other, or to help a class, or to do a podcast really is derived from her heart and her soul. And anyone who meets or works with her in any capacity will feel blessed to be in her light and in her life and in her orbit. I know that I feel fortunate to have her in mine. She's an incredibly wonderful individual.
Where do I even begin? First and foremost, Carly is my best friend. Gosh, how long have we been best friends for? I think it's been close to like 14 or 15 years. That's actually crazy. I've known her since the end of high school, and obviously we have gone through so many stages of life together, and she has been there every step of the way. She's vibrant. She's my sunshine on any rainy day. She's anyone's biggest motivator. If you know her, you would definitely agree with me, whether that be personally or professionally. She's got a go-getter attitude, and her mentality is inspiring, but then she also has the kindest, most genuine heart. If you're crying, whether it's happy or sad tears, Carly will also cry with you. She's your biggest supporter on any occasion. She also loves writing you cards. I think some of my best cards, whether it be just a thank you card or a birthday card, have come from Carly, and they truly always bring me to tears, happy tears at that. She's definitely one of the most influential, smartest, and obviously successful people I've ever met. I love you, Carl.
If I could describe Carly in a few words, it would definitely be spunky, driven, understanding, and a role model. And knowing you personally, I can attest that your professional persona is authentic and you deliver every time when you say you're going to.
So the first thing that comes to mind is you have this beautiful, contagious energy about you. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do my best to best describe it. Whenever I leave a conversation that I've had with you, or whether it's just even through Slack, you always leave me feeling motivated, inspired, and just uplifted. You do have this uplifting presence about you that's just so beautiful. It's actually one of the first things I noticed on my interview. You're just this really positive person. And even if just transparent and honest, there's something so pure about your energy, your vibe. I don't know if it's this aura, but it's like you walk around. I feel like you walk around with this light shining behind you, and I don't know what it is, but it's so contagious.
My best way to describe you is that you are a problem solver all the way. You are always about a solution, always about wanting to learn how to make things better, and never scared to be the first one to get your hands dirty and fix a problem if it's right in front of you, especially if you have the skills to do it.
And then how I would describe you in a few words or sentences is
Number one, always consistent and reliable. I know that you have my back and I can rely on you to be consistent, to be supportive, to get shit done quickly and efficiently, which is awesome. And you're very organized and thorough. You have a lot of just really I guess type A personality, which is really great as a business coach and stuff. You also do no harm, but take no shit. You are very, compassionate and are supportive of others and support your clients really well, but you also put your foot down and your bullshit meter is pretty you don't have tolerance for bullshit basically at all. Period.
Love of my life, forever and ever.
No, describe me. How do people view me? From an outsider looking in, how would you describe me?
Thick booty, brown eyes, good personality.
My husband did not understand that assignment, but God love him. And there you have it, friends. A little bit more insight into who I am as a person, what you can expect along this journey. And stay tuned. We have some really juicy episodes coming up on building a soul-aligned business, overcoming limiting beliefs in your entrepreneurial journey, protecting your license when adding coaching from an attorney, and real stories from real coaches who are making 5-figure months. I am cheering you on. I am so excited you are here. I am always rooting for you. I am in your corner, and my love is with you. Talk soon.